going on, guys? Today's video was supposed to be about Rune Wars, but my schedule this week has just been absolutely insane. It's been one thing after another, and I have not been able to dedicate the amount of time to working on this miniature that I wanted to. So that's going to be next week's video, but this week we're going to talk about the fact that I went back to uploading every single week. However, a lot of you guys probably noticed that there's a lot of filler episodes of me just kind of explaining what's going on, and I felt that I needed to explain what was going on and why we're doing that, as a lot of people don't seem to have seen the original video where I explained why I was doing this, and now that the views are starting to come back, I think it's about time we talk about it. So the reality is that YouTube really likes certain types of channels when we upload every single week. In the case of the gaming channel, they want you to upload every single week. Now, I have to upload to the gaming section of YouTube or I just don't get views. If I upload to the art section, I don't get views. If I upload to the educational section, I don't get views. So I have to upload under the context of gaming. I've talked to a lot of other miniature painters and they do the same thing. And this results in the algorithm wanting you to upload every single week, which isn't always possible. For about a year and a half there, I was uploading every other week and my views were just slowly dropping off. By having this weird update video on weeks when I'm not able to actually upload to a regular schedule, this has resulted in the views shooting back up. So that's why we have these random update videos every now and again or every other week. It's just a way for me to fluff out YouTube and to satisfy their algorithm in order to make sure that when the video is ready, the views are there. If I don't put this like filler episode in, then the YouTube algorithm thinks that I've given up or punishes me by not showing the video to people, and then you guys end up seeing the video like weeks after the fact, which doesn't help anybody at all. So that's why I'm doing these weird filler episodes every now and again. It's literally just to appease the algorithm, which is why I keep calling these videos things about the algorithm. It's just like an inside joke for me and anybody else who is in that same boat, that we have to upload some kind of bullcrap video just to make the algorithm happy. Now, if you're a miniature painter and you're uploading to a different category and you're not uploading to gaming and it seems to be working for you, please let me know in the comments. I would love to go in and start uploading my videos to a different category so that I don't have to worry about that anymore. But for now, it seems like the only good way for me to generate any serious views is by uploading to the category of gaming, and that's why I end up having to make these filler episodes. In the meantime, I want to head something off at the pass. The how-to section, which is typically reserved for things like tutorials or 5-second crafts, if you will, I don't think that's the right place to be uploading miniature painting content to, especially considering most of my content is like me just kind of talking through why I'm doing what I'm doing and my thought process behind it, which isn't really a tutorial. It's just me conveying my thoughts and trying to teach the things that I have learned, as opposed to giving a proper step-by-step tutorial on how to do something, which is why I feel like that's not the right place for me to be uploading my content. But then again, maybe I'm wrong. I don't really know. Once upon a time, YouTube actually used to have a tabletop gaming category. And right around the time I started my video game channel is around the time that they did away with it. And when they did away with it, they encouraged all gaming, whether it be tabletop or not, to upload to the gaming section, which has resulted in this crap about them wanting a single video at minimum every single week, which just isn't feasible for most tabletop channels. Right now, I'm trying to find ways for me to break up projects into multiple videos as opposed to doing an entire project in a single video. I think this is going to help to put more content out on the channel that's a little bit more relevant and perhaps something that you guys are more interested in, but it's also going to allow us to appease that algorithm by putting out content on a more regular basis. So hopefully that works out in my favor, as opposed to being a detriment from taking too much time. One of the ideas that I have coming up is I want to try and kind of do a diorama in a Magic the Gathering card. I want to cut out the artwork and then recreate it in 3 dimensions and make it so that like you're viewing into the card, like looking through a window. I think that would be really fun. I've seen some other miniature artists do similar things with other cards from other trading card games, as well as from Magic the Gathering, and it just seems like something that would be a lot of fun. But I'm trying to find ways of breaking that up into multiple videos without it being necessarily a part 1, a part 2, and a part 3, because YouTube really doesn't like it when you do that. It will just suppress the crap out of anything in the middle, and it will only show people part 1, and it will show people the final part. It's really weird like that. I don't understand why the algorithm works like that. It just does. And that's evidenced by the one time I did a big project working with the iTyrant here on YouTube, where I had a 3-part series, and part 1 and part 3 have an absurd amount of views, despite the fact that part 2 is where the bulk of the tutorial is. So, is what it is, I guess. The other thing is, it feels like YouTube is a little more laxed on larger channels. It seems like the bigger and more popular your channel becomes, the less that they expect you to stick to that bog standard of every single week there must be some new episode. A lot of my favorite big miniature channels are uploading every other week, or even in a few cases, some of them are only uploading once a month. And they seem to be doing just fine. They don't seem to be having any issues with getting people to view their content. So I suspect that there's some kind of numbers game there that I'm just not understanding. In any case, we'll find out for sure when, and inevitably once we get there. I have no doubt in my mind that this channel is going to go places. It's just a matter of how much time it's going to take to do so, and that's all thanks to you guys, so thank you so much. Now, if you've watched this far, thank you. I do genuinely appreciate it. I know these update videos can be kind of boring. I know you're really here to see the miniature painting, but for those of you who are here for not just the painting, but here for me as well, I do see you and I do appreciate you. Even when you aren't leaving comments, I know that there are plenty of you out there who are here for the whole package, so to speak, and not just for the miniature painting, and I do appreciate you. Something else I want to clarify is I'm just a content creator who is making content on a smartphone. I don't have a huge budget. I am virtually unemployed due to birth defects that I have, and so most of my time is either sucked up looking for jobs, doing what little jobs I can find, putting through commissions when and where I have time, and then also battling a fair amount of unfortunate. I got the genetic lottery and have a fair amount of birth defects that have resulted in me having a lot of medical problems, recently of which I have started having all kinds of blood pressure problems, which has resulted in me sleeping for 14 to 15 hours and still feeling exhausted. And although I've got some medication to try and alleviate that issue, it doesn't always work. And so sometimes I end up waking up and just feeling utterly exhausted, and it's just a bed day. I'm going to spend the bulk of my time in bed, and what little time I have up, I just do not have the energy to paint. And I hate that, because 5-6 years ago, I could have sat down and painted for 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. And I know I could do that because I basically was doing that at that time. And it messes with the imposter syndrome a lot. I get a little bit of imposter syndrome doing this with you guys and feeling like I'm not good enough to teach what I know, which is a weird thing to say. I know a lot of YouTubers say the same thing, but when I have these really bad medical days where I just don't have the energy to do anything, I just feel like I need to be doing something. And then that combined together with the imposter syndrome is just a 1-2 punch that is just such a miserable experience. I wish I could spend a whole month working on a singular video to give you a really lovely high quality video that is absolutely worth the effort to put out. But the reality is that if I do that, the YouTube algorithm will not show it to anyone. I know you guys at home have no issue with me doing that whatsoever. I know that because you tell me that in the comments every time I make a video like this. But the honest reality is that the YouTube algorithm doesn't care. if I don't keep up with the algorithm, it will forget me, and it will force you to forget me, because it will not show me to you, despite the fact that you might have notifications turned on. It just won't send them. I know that because my friends who follow me, who I know in real life, who I talk with on a regular basis, they don't get my videos suggested to them anymore. And they don't know why, because they have notifications turned on. So, it's very frustrating. In any case, guys, thank you so much for watching. In any case, I've been Graham Johnson, this has been Tabletop Glory, and as always, may your display case always be filled, and your pile of shame never run empty. Until next time.